Beautiful Scorpio friends, how are you guys? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have the Scorpio gang here with me today. Despite all the anarchy and chaos going on globally, I do hope this video finds you well. Hopefully this can be a much needed, much welcome distraction, especially if you are at home just kind of keeping to yourself. Let's see if we can get you some fun tarot messages. This is going to be about career, money, finance, all those good things, roughly for middle of March into middle of April, but you don't need to put a fixed start and end date on it. Receive the messages as they come about. Ultimately, it's up to you to choose which messages you're going to take away and implement in your life. Oh, Lord Almighty. We're going to start with that. All right, well, under it is the soulmate card and justice. I like that. So if you are going through, I'm going to put it this way. If you're going through a difficult time, know that you're making your way towards a solid foundation. Maybe a new contract or a new job or just a rebalancing of the scales it's what's coming in. Anyway, I didn't even shuffle all your cards yet and that wanted to come through. Here on YouTube, I do general messages, guys. That means not everything I say will resonate with all the Scorpios out there. It is up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Ultimately, I ask you, please only take away messages that you feel are for your best and highest good. Messages that motivate you, inspire you, confirm something you needed to hear, or the opposite, illuminate you to something new. I come at these messages with love and positivity, so I ask that that is what you take away here today. Other than that, the rest is up to you. You are always going to be in the driver's seat. So let's see what we can get from my Scorpio gang for career and finances. Everything else about this video is down in the description box for you to check out. The decks I'm using here today, my social media, my website, all that good stuff. I'm The Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram.com. Check that out if you're interested. And always like, share, subscribe, leave a comment wherever you can. That helps me, helps this video gain traction, gets those messages out to YouTube land everywhere. All right, let's hop in. So bottom of your deck is Hermit Mode. You guys, this card has been coming up so much. And I just kind of have to laugh because it's what's going on in the world right now, right? We're all kind of just isolating ourselves, trying to keep ourselves safe and healthy. But what I do actually love about this message is that this is sort of indicating this is such a good time to connect with yourself and your body and your spirituality while you are unplugged from the world and you don't have too many distractions other than maybe your phone or Netflix. Take some time to really check in with yourself, right? To go within, I just heard go with God. That's so funny. But no, take some time to meditate or even, exercise or do some yoga on a floor mat or this or that. Do something that helps you connect with yourself. Because there's going to be something that gives you mental clarity, peace of mind. You may spawn some sort of new idea or have some sort of even conversation. This sounds odd, but a conversation with yourself or with spirit that, it promotes growth and strength for you to go down some new path or go about some new task in a new, innovative, or insightful way. That's kind of an interesting message. Some of you are going to be connecting with one of your Leo friends in the month of Aries. And there's something about they spawn some sort of creative idea from you you start to manifest a new beginning. And you're moving away from a place where you are maybe stuck or even feeling a little bit of heartbreak or sorrow or disappointment of some sort of job opportunity or project that either you were overlooked for or it didn't work out. This is the starting of a new chapter for you, Scorpio. So make sure you are a vessel to receive those important communications and downloads from spirit, from God, from whatever you believe in. Because when the time comes where you need to go out and start kicking ass again, you need to make sure that spiritually you're in a good place to do it. As much as this can talk about difficult times, hardships, financial struggles, etc., there is a need to rise above with this card too, to kind of pick yourself up by your bootstraps and recognize this isn't where it ends. This is just the beginning. So the importance of showing up with strength, with endurance, with courage that, things might be tough right now, but I'm going to power through. I'm going to get to the finish line, right? This can be the card of soulmates. It can also represent being in a job in which that job is your part of your soul path. You were meant to go through it. You were meant to go into it. Just look at the depictions of these cards. You have the darkness and then the light. So know that if this is your current state of mind or feelings, your emotions, whatever, going through some sort of hardship, know that it is preparing you for something beautiful that's trying to come in, and it will be just. The scales will the scales will be rebalanced. Again, some sort of contract, particularly with a new workplace or with a new employer. This can sometimes represent marriage if you have love on the mind. You do. Sometimes this can be a card of weddings, so probably not for most of you, and I am typically reading for career and finances here. But yeah, if you're kind of going through a difficult time feeling isolated, like love just it hasn't been in your favor, it's looking pretty good with an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, that's just for one or two of you. But anyway, let's hop into your actual reading. So your energy is presenting as risk. All right, I love this. This very much reminds me of the Fool, needing to take a leap of faith off into the unknown. Turn and face the strange. Changes, right? There's I don't know why that song wants to come through, but you have that card literally twice. And interesting, the way I've placed them, they're going in opposite directions. But on my board there, or my table, I should say, they're actually facing towards each other. So I feel like that's actually symbolic. In terms of two opportunities where there may be like a collision or a merging of two, it could be two ideas or two different paths or, two different paths or courses or trails. I don't know why that's coming through that you want to go down. You may actually be able to merge them together. And I do want to say it does involve travel. King of Wands is coming through, the King of Career, the King of Passion, the King of Spirituality, but also travel. And the way this is depicted here, he's looking at a map and giving like a presentation on travel, right? And yeah, so some of you might literally be involved in some sort of something that's going to increase your business across distances. You may be collaborating with a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or you may have that strong in your chart. But with the Fool coming up twice, it is a new beginning. And then you have the Queen of Cups. All right, so the Queen of Love. It's a card of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Interesting. So another Scorpio may be recognizing you in some capacity. Another Scorpio may be putting a crown on your head, and if that's not literal, and I don't think for most of you it is, your accomplishments are finally going to be recognized. Particularly if you've had to stand in front of a group and make some sort of speech or give a demonstration or a presentation, there's going to be some reward and recognition that makes you very happy and sets you free. If you've been feeling stuck in a job and kind of getting lost in like a negative headspace of I'm always going to be here and they're not paying me what I deserve and I don't like my coworkers, negative thoughts that are really keeping you stuck, there's some sort of push, there's some sort of breakthrough, and that's what this is as well. Once you get out of that, I do want to say it's like a negative headspace for most of you, and in a very like balanced way, that negative headspace is affecting your income negatively too. So it's like you got to raise your vibration. All these cards of these yellow, bright, sunshine, happiness, joy, renewal, growth type cards. It's as cheesy as it sounds. If you raise your vibe, it's going to raise your income as well. Or there may be more opportunities with multiple kings where, yeah, you can either join a company that is more well established, has better roots, has more like roots as in legacy, long-standing tradition, history, but also something where your ability to make money increases. I heard exponentially increases, so that seems big, right? And I mean, King of Pentacles, King of Money, right? But it's going to involve leaving your comfort zone, leaving your safety zone, particularly for those who actually already work in their house, like work remotely or from home. This new opportunity, it will involve traveling away from like the comfort zone or away from like the security of your own home. But yeah, you're going to get recognized by I'll say another water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and it's recognition that's long overdue. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I'm not trying to go here because I am reading for money and career, but there is another metaphor of someone proposing. It's being shown as like the flower crown sort of here, but yeah, for one or two of you, right? Not for the majority here, but there may be an offer from a fire sign, and maybe it's a job offer, right? But for some of you, it could be a romantic offer from an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, particularly if that person has a cat that is like their little sidekick. That's really cute. I don't know why that message is coming through, but it's almost This is so adorable. It's like they've practiced the way they're going to propose. They've practiced it with their cat. And I know that sounds bonkers, but the way it's being delivered, it's very cute. It's not that this person's crazy. It's like it's almost like their cat or it doesn't even have to be a cat, their pet, their fish, their dog. It could even be a sibling, maybe, but it's more being translated to me as like a pet. That's their sounding board. It's something about they process their thoughts and their creative ideas, and they bounce those ideas off of their pet. It's so adorable. It's making me laugh, but it's almost like they've literally shown their cat the ring. Like, this is what I'm going to give to him or her or whatever, right? The gender doesn't matter so much, but yeah, oh my gosh, that's such a cute message. Anyway, let's refocus here, because I am trying to read for career. Some of you may be involved in wedding planning or event planning. That's possible. And aside from that, you may be planning some sort of event like an anniversary party for your parents or this or that, where you're organizing some party, even if that's not your main source of income or even your job. Some of you may be doing that, and I am getting that's going to be a significant environment. Something about the creativity is spawned there, or something is rejiggered in your mind, where you get some sort of, I don't want to say epiphany, but it may be some sort of emotional support from someone you care very deeply for, where they're encouraging you. They're like, yeah, Scorpio, go after it. Look what you did here. You're so great at this. You get some sort of championing or cheerleading, or and maybe that means something to someone. Maybe some of you are cheerleaders. I don't know, whatever your age group is, right? But yeah, there's something about people start recognizing your skills and talents, and they support you. They are the foundation. It's almost like you're jumping from a solid foundation, knowing that you have people that are going to catch you if you fall. I do think there's something about family here, if it's not marriage, and maybe it's your husband or your wife, right? 3 of Wands. Yeah, a lot of you have been delaying a decision or putting something on pause or on hold because it just didn't seem like the right time. But I do think spiritually you're starting to feel like, I heard it's now or never. And it's not so much that you need to be concerned that you're going to miss the boat or miss the timeline or miss the bus or whatever. It's not so much trying to pressure you on the speed of it. It's just recognizing yeah, now is the time for you to something about the petals of a flower opening up. It's time for you to turn to God or turn to source or turn to universe and take a leap of faith that, yeah, good things are trying to come in for you, but it does involve action on your part. The Fool is frequently a card of Aries, so that might be a timestamp in Aries season. You might actually start taking some small steps to make this idea, take the practical steps to start making it a reality. Not you've been in the process of manifesting it, but that's what I mean with the Ace of Swords. There might be some sort of important communication, maybe from a higher power, but it could literally be your husband or your wife or your best friend that's I support you. I'm rooting for you. Go for it. If you hit a roadblock, if money is tight, I got you. It feels like you're surrounded by a really beautiful person or group of people, be it your family, your soul tribe. With 3 of Wands, even just the way it's depicted here, some of you are trying to pursue a career in something that is more spiritual or does have to do with health of the physical body. It could be nutrition or coaching people, like a fitness coach or something like that. I am getting classes, lessons, teachers, professors. So maybe some of you need to go back to school to do this. But yeah, it seems like Aries season, you kick it into high gear and start moving forward on some idea. So the challenge is leaving your comfort zone, 9 of Pentacles, and also recognizing your value and your worth. You're sitting on huge amounts of potential, but yeah, you haven't fully acknowledged that that's not the right word. You haven't fully come to terms with the fact that it's time to go after it. I am sort of getting, you're looking for excuses or reasons to delay. And I'm not really sure why that is, but you have a card of meditation coming up. So maybe some of you want to work in, be like a spiritual teacher or lead meditation classes. But as we started at the very beginning of this reading saying, take advantage of this sort of, the silver lining of all this craziness and chaos of you guys maybe isolating or staying home or avoiding, public spaces. Meditate, spend time in some sort of spiritual capacity where you are channeling higher vibrational messages, because there's something about that. It's going to inform you that it is safe to release. It is safe to let go. Instead of staying in the safety zone, which is what fours are in tarot, the status quo, things are okay here, but they could be better. They could grow and develop into something like beyond your wildest dreams, right? I say this in a gentle, nurturing, loving way, but there is sort of an element here of laziness, putting off the hard work because you're not ready to come to terms with the fact that it is time to go after this. You guys know I love you, Scorpio. I come at this with love. I got a Scorpio moon, but there is something about, I'll turn on Netflix. I'll text my friend. I'll kill an hour on Facebook. It's something like, are you making productive steps or a productive plan to go after this? You're your own worst enemy. It's like, there's no real consequence here, but in a sense, I'm getting, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you could be like, living large and in charge. I don't know why I just said that. That's such a cheesy expression, but yeah, why aren't you making the decision? What is this delay about? I think it's because you're worried about all the things that could go wrong, but you're not understanding all the things that could go right. Spirit, God, guardian angels, whatever you believe in, they're trying to send you important communications that you are like a vessel of spirituality, and you need to trust your intuition more. When you have those little like pings or those little like thoughts that you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. I think those happen a lot. You get those little like intuitive hits, but rather than doing something with them, you're just like, you overthink the details, or you overanalyze it, or start questioning if it's your intuition, or if it's that, or if it's whatever. It's an interesting message in that in some capacity you're not being like impulsive enough, or you're not moving at a speed in which this can get up and running. I'm getting like a weird, and this is all in metaphor, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it. The idea of, if you guys in grade school ever did like jump rope, right? And you have the two things going in and you have to jump in. There's something about you need to find the rhythm to know when it's your time to, that's exactly what this is though. It's a really beautiful metaphor. It's, is it double Dutch? Is that what they call with the two jump ropes? It's like, there's a certain time where it's safe, right? For you to jump in and make the cut, make the deadline, where I again, in the silly metaphor, you can jump rope and you don't screw up, the motion of the rope. It's almost like this thing has been going around and around, and you've been like building up your confidence, your strength, your courage to go after it. But there is something about a finite time in which you can go in. And this may have to do with enrolling in classes, like it only comes around so often. You haven't missed your opportunity. You never truly miss out on what is meant to be yours. But there is something about a period where if you miss the deadline, then you have to wait another 6 months. Or if you miss the deadline, then you have to wait another few weeks. And so that's what this is. It's like you're afraid to jump into the ropes. There's a lot of metaphor in that, so I'm not sure exactly what to do with it, but this is saying you know what that means, Scorpio. You're afraid to get in there. You're afraid to mix it up. You're afraid to be playful and just have fun, because I think you're so worried about the consequences of what will happen that it's like you're standing there frozen. You don't want to make any move because you don't want there to be any sort of shift. But it's saying to me, it's inevitable. You are going to make mistakes, but from those mistakes, ultimately, they're lessons that you don't need to carry around as heartbreak and, oh my gosh, how could this have happened? Anticipate that things are going to be slow to get started, or that there will be a learning process involved. But every time you jump in the ropes and do it, even if you miss it, even if you metaphorically catch your foot, you can still get it the next time. There is a sense of practice makes perfect. It's not going to be perfect the first time, so why not get in there and start getting the knowledge, start getting the practice, start getting the hands-on experience so that you can perfect the skill. Some of you are avoiding signing a contract, and there's a large sum of money attached to that contract. And I think a lot of you want to go after it. It may even involve marriage with a Cancer. That's not for all of you, but you have 2 cards of Cancer coming up. So this can also indicate deep down, subconsciously, you know you got this. It's a victory. It's money in the hand. It's an ace in the hole. There's a lot of like, I hate to use the word guarantee or certainty, but because it's coming up as your intuition, even if this career or project or opportunity or job goes in a way that you're not quite anticipating, you know that whatever is thrown at you, you will win. You will be the victor. You will figure it out because you've had to do that your whole life, Scorpio. And so far, you're still here, right? You're still kicking. Your track record is pretty good. But yeah, it's time for you to open yourself up and go after the world, to no longer settle, to no longer be stuck, to make some sort of decision that it opens you up to a wider network of people. Some of you may be launching a website or moving a very long distance, even like across the world, or something about needing to learn a foreign language. I don't know, that's for like 1 or 2 of you, but anyway. Your challenge is leaving the comfort zone. It's almost like no risk, no reward. You may have to let go of one thing or one person or one side job or this or that in order to welcome in new blessings. But those blessings trying to come into you are much better and much more in line spiritually with what you want. But yeah, there is a need to take some sort of action, particularly in Aries season. You don't have to have the entire puzzle figured out yet. Things will fall into place organically. But yeah, if everything in your being is telling you to go in this direction, that's an important communication from a higher source, from a higher power. It's valid. It is meant to be, it's meant to be absorbed and like taken action on. So what is the help available to you? Not focusing on disappointments of the past, cutting off people who have disappointed you or kept you in a state of like mental conflict. Your challenge or focus is the 5 of Swords. So this can sometimes people being shisty, playing like, again, mind games, people being just kind of like shady, not helpful, whatever. Under that is 6 of Swords. So it's like, let's move on from this. This isn't helping you. It's keeping you in a state of conflict. And what's really interesting, I never get this with this card, but something about this is looking at the way you've developed as a person in the past. I'm getting you've dealt with a lot of disappointments, Scorpio. And I'm not predicting this. It's looking back on things that haven't worked out, but you're letting those negative thoughts keep you from taking some sort of risk or going after some sort of new beginning. And I'm sure it is tied to finances in some capacity, but I am getting something about the number 3. 3 ex-husbands or 3 ex-wives or 3 jobs that didn't work out or 3 whatever. And I mean, it doesn't have to be something that extreme, but there could, a lot of my Scorpios, there's something about 3 things that have happened, and it might not be all in the same category, for lack of a better term, but those 3 things have been a very heavy weight on your heart, and it's keeping you from going after what it is that you're meant to go after. With this cloudiness, like it's time to get out of that mental state, that mental confusion. Irreconcilable differences, I just heard that. And I think I said the same thing to Libra. So that may involve a Libra. Cutting your losses, really. Sometimes people come and go out of your life and like, you meet them for a reason or for a season. Some of you are still trying to hold on to a person where they're just not helping you. They're a weight on your heart. They're a weight on your ability to see clearly. It's just chalk it up to its differences. We were different. We tried to make it work and we couldn't. But that doesn't mean that whatever you're going after next isn't going to work. There's something about you just need to worry about your own internal balance. You don't need to save the world. You don't need to be, play mom or dad or brother or sister to keep the family together, to like juggle many opportunities or many, something about keeping lots of balls up in the air. It's like, you're doing lots of favors for other people or caring too much about how people view you. Just focus on your own internal balance, because that in itself will be a victory that's going to drive you forward and allow you to progress forward in terms of your career. And I know a lot of you are like, but what about my money? Where's my money at? I have to be honest, there's not a lot of Pentacles here until you sign that new contract. That's when the King of Pentacles comes in. Or until whatever this stands for. It could be settling a lawsuit where I do think there's a fairly hefty payout. But yeah, something about this is it's some final decision that allows money to come back into your life. Because I think you guys are trying to get away from this. Financially tough times, right? But this is saying to me, you're sitting on, I heard the door to value, but you're sitting on something that is quite lucrative, but I don't think the seeds have blossomed into the fruit yet, if that makes sense. So what I was saying about this, there is an element of being just like a tad lazy. But the thing is, I don't actually think it's you being lazy. I think it is you trying to conceal the fact that by not making a decision, it's allowing you to not have to take a risk and stay in that comfort zone. But I will say it's a false comfort zone. It's a false sense of security because there's no change coming into your life. And I do think that's what a lot of you want. I think you want to be the King of Pentacles, right? Male or female. I think you want abundance, and I think you want to go after a career that gives you freedom, that makes you happy, that makes your heart sing. But with this card, it's like, it's graduation time. You don't need to stay in school anymore. It's time to go out there and do it now. It's okay, Scorpio. You can do it. You're telling yourself you can, or there's some sort of false belief that something terrible or tragic will happen. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe is backing you in this. They're trying to bombard you with messages and confirmations, but are you in a good place to receive those messages? Yeah, some of you need to release an ex or a lover or someone who you went through kind of a troubled or a rocky relationship with, and recognize they served a purpose in your life, but ultimately it was to gain some sort of wisdom or knowledge and to move on from it. And that may have been another water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Yeah, they added more disarray and anarchy in your life than they did good. It ended up being more of a situation where you had to be like the parent and they acted as the child, even though it was like a love relationship. Yeah, it's like you've come out with some battle scars, but it's time for you to finally release that person and fill your own cup. Know that your value and your worth and your ability to succeed, it has nothing to do with those around you. It has to do with your own beliefs, your own love, your own confidence, your own strength to go after what it is that you truly desire, because you're the magician, right? You are magic. You can create anything you want, but you have to believe that you can, right? It starts with you, the aces. It all starts with us, our own power, our own confidence. Yeah, I do have to say the help available to you is cutting out people in your life who are a time suck, an energy suck, a money suck. Maybe you're paying for bills of an ex that you're no longer with, and it's like, I am sort of getting it's time to kind of let them fend for themselves, right? I mean, within reason, obviously, use your own judgment there, but you need to look forward. You need to stop looking back to the past, to things that didn't work out. Just because you didn't succeed at something once, again, something about like the double dutch, the jump rope, just because, you couldn't get in once and you got hit with the rope and it hurt. Well, you've learned how to do it differently this time. It's not always going to end in tragedy and heartbreak for you. It's a test of your endurance to keep showing up, to keep getting out there and trying it again. All right, so your final advice or guidance is the Tower. Interesting. And okay, that makes sense. And then the Hangman. Yeah, so this is saying the longer you delay, right, there is a sense of needing to assess what's going on around you before you make that decision to welcome death, right, which comes after the Hanged Man, which is all about transition and change. And again, cutting out what doesn't serve us and making room for new blessings. You need to make room in your life, right? Take stock of what you don't need so you can open yourself up to receive those. This is saying if you don't do it yourself, and I don't do fear-based readings, but ultimately if you don't make that decision to change in any way, right? If you're stagnant, the universe recognizes that and they go, okay, send them in, guys. And Scorpio, you're going to get hit with the Tower, right? So you have the ability to welcome in this change and go after what it is that you want. And it's sort of saying if you don't, universe wants you to grow as a spiritual person. So if you're not going to do it on their own, they're going to help you, and this is going to be like an uncomfortable kick in the ass. I'm sorry, Scorpio, my camera froze there. So then the card Summon came out in reverse, and it's almost like you're not taking advantage of all this power that you're sitting on. That's what this is. This is my independent ladies card, right? Self-made woman, abundant, right? Capable of amazing growth and like financial abundance and opportunity. it's like you're not seeing how magical you are, and I want to pair it with the Magician. It's sort of the same message. Like, if you don't step into your power and realize, like, I'm a fucking magician, like, I can do anything, the universe is going to hit you with some sort of, like I do want to take, like, a shocking wake-up call, but it's to get you to step into your power. So maybe you should just recognize it now, Scorpio, right? So you don't have to deal with this bullshit later. Something about, again, putting on some sort of a special event or some sort of show, particularly in the entertainment industry, or it could be, as I said earlier, like planning an event or planning a wedding, something with fireworks, though, is important. So you may try and give yourself a due date of the 4th of July. I don't know why that's coming through. That's for one of two of you. And then something about the name Tinkerbell. I don't know if that's what, like, your dad calls you, or that's what you call your kid, or maybe you have a tattoo of Tinkerbell, or I don't know, the movie Peter Pan might be important to you, whatever. Something about Tinkerbell is coming through there, but that's just a confirmation for one or two of you. Actually, I want to throw something on it. I apologize for the coughing. I got a little tickle. All right. No, you can't catch coronavirus from watching YouTube videos. You're going to be fine. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Completion. Yeah, this is actually great because the idea of you need to welcome in death, that's what the Hangman is. It's like he's assessing what's around him, and there needs to be things sacrificed in order for him to go, him or her, right? To go from, like, the cocoon, the chrysalis, and evolve into the butterfly. You're long overdue to set yourself free and be the butterfly. You need to free yourself from this mental prison. You may also still be feeling very emotionally raw or vulnerable from losing someone in your life who meant a lot to you, particularly a mother or a father figure. Know that that person, particularly if they're a Leo, they're watching over you and they're encouraging you to go after this new thing that you want to do. If you open yourself up to receive important messages from spirit, know that they're kind of stepping in that moment too to help guide you. Their loving energy is still around you and supporting you. Particularly if they're a Leo or a Cancer. Or it could be another Scorpio, but I think that's supposed to be you. And I'm not predicting death. I don't do that in my channel. You would already know if that was your message. All right, let's get you some universe cards for my Scorpios. Yeah, I said the same thing to Libra. Change is coming in. It's inevitable, so you can take it in stride and be excited for this new beginning, or you can run from it kicking and screaming. But, like, the time is now. The time for you, as I said, it's like the ropes are only going to be swinging for so long, so you may as well, like, go after it, right? With a sense of adventure, with a sense of fun and excitement. If you make a mistake, it's just a mistake. It's a lesson. You know, you'll get them next time. I want to say, you'll get them next time, Tiger. Yeah, something about a Leo is important. And you had a lot of cards of Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, I guess, too. What does Scorpio need to hear from the universe? My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. That's the problem. You've been focusing on this too much. You guys got to raise your vibe. Even if there's an element of I'll fake it till I make it, start focusing on the bright side, the opportunities, the good things, the higher vibrational thinking. Because, yeah, if you're manifesting shit, if nothing's coming into you, right, you have to change your mindset. Think of yourself as the King of Pentacles if you want to lead an abundant life, right? And it's not just about thinking about it. It's about creating it too. But, like, you have to start somewhere. So start with the thoughts, right? That's the easiest part. And what emotions are tied to it? Maybe deep down you have, like, deep-seated fears or insecurities about money. You may have grown up in a household where money was like a taboo subject, or maybe you grew up in a household where money was always very tight. You know, you guys were barely getting by. And so maybe you have apprehension to take any sort of risk financially. And so, I mean, it's up to you, but I do keep wanting to say over and over, with the new contract, money comes in. My vibe speaks louder than my words. Cool. Cool, baby. And this has to do with that too. The secret, the silent person, right? The messages from God, from spirit, from your parents, from your angels, from those who have passed on. It's something like something about the auditory, I don't know. Messages through music are being relayed. You don't even have to say much in order to receive really important communications in the next several weeks. Yeah, universe is looking out for you, Scorpio. All right, guys, that's what I got. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonates, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. And please stay healthy and safe. All right, bye, guys.